Hi, I'm Callum from Tyne Valley Motorhomes, and today I'll be doing the handover demonstration on the 2017 Elddis Signature 196. So as we're coming down the driver's side of the vehicle, the first locker you get to is your battery locker. So it opens with the tri-mark key. You've got two of these, so you've either got the flip one and you've got a spare on the spare set of keys. And then inside you do have your 12 volt leisure battery. You hook up points, so to hook the vehicle up, you would slide the collar off, slide it back on, always hook the vehicle up first, then the sight, and do in reverse when unhooking the vehicle. And below you've got a 3-pin plug, so should you need any power in your awning on the other side or to get an extension, plug it in here, slot the cable underneath the vehicle, and then you've got power for the outside in your awning. You can then put the wire through the groove and lock this box. Coming further along, the toilet's behind here. This is your toilet cassette locker. So again, opens with the tri-mark key, and then to get the cassette out, you'd lift the orange handle. Make sure the blade on the bottom bowl of the toilet is closed, otherwise the cassette won't come out. But I'll show you that from inside the vehicle. And then what you need to do is you do have a handle here, so you can drag it around the sight when it's full. And then to empty, you'd simply take the cover off, go to your waste disposal point, press this orange button, tip it away. Once you've tipped it out, if there's normally a tap, put some water in, give it a shake, tip out again, which is just a rinse out. And then you can then fill it back with liquid, and it would be a cap full straight into here. Or you can use the tablets. If you use the tablet form, a pint of water into the cassette and drop a toilet chemical tablet straight down the toilet and into the cassette. Back here you do have your water filler point, so this is your fresh water. So this is a lockable cap with one of the round headed keys, so one of them does your habitation door and one of them does your water filler. So this one does your water filler. Key 9278 is your water filler. And what you do is you get yourself a hose pipe, put yourself a hose pipe in there until it either overflows or until you're happy you've got enough water on board. You can see on the main control panel how much water is on board the vehicle at any one time. And then should you want to empty it, you've got your blue to empty the water. So this is your fresh water, so if you've taken on contaminated water, you drain the systems down, or you're just not using the vehicle. And you've got your grey, which is your wastewater, so this is your dishes water, your shower water, or anything you put down the plug hole, you just open and allow that to drain out. Normally you drive over a grid to do that, and then here this is just your heater vent. Underneath this point here it says Truman. It's got a picture of a shower. This is your exterior shower, so you just take this cap out. It's quite a tight fit for this cap. So take it out and there'll be a trigger gun with a fitting that clips into there and a trigger gun on the other end, and it's a cold water feed shower, so it's great for if you want to hose the bikes off or the dog's got muddy paws, you can clean him off before he gets in the van. At the back you do have your high level brake light and reversing camera, and then you do have a 4 bike rack with your arms, so put your wheels on the track and these through your spokes of your wheels to tie them down to the rail, and then you've got your first, second, third and fourth bike, and these go through the crossbars of the bike, and that's how you would connect on. You've also got a tow bar fitting point and 13-pin electrics there. On this side, so again, opens with a tri-mark key, LPG, liquid petroleum gas. This is your gas locker, so you can fit 2 6-kilogram bottles in here. Once you've got the bottle in, if you do, just strap it in with the straps provided. It's a left-hand thread to get your pigtail on, and then what you need to do is turn it on at the top of the bottle and turn it off when you travel. But you can get an additional 6 kilogram in there. You've got your 2 fridge vents. These covers are for your microwave. You've got your awning and your awning light, and then just at the front here, underneath your side facing seat there, you do have your just a bit of storage in there. At the passenger door, this is your diesel filler. So it opens with the main ignition key. So you've got a lockable diesel cap, and below you've got AdBlue. Because it's a Euro 6 compliant engine, it's got to have the AdBlue solution, and this will indicate when it's needed. Between the fuel and the temperature gauge, you'll get a little orange light that looks like an exhaust with a gust of wind behind it, and that's meaning it needs AdBlue. As soon as it comes on, if you just top it up, you can get it from most petrol stations now, as it's a common thing, or you can buy it in the drums and top it up. But just make sure you top it up, because if you allow it to go dry, the engine will simply won't start. And then inside here, you've got your tyre pressure, so 5 bar on the front, 5.5 bar on the back, which is 72.3 psi on the front and 79.5 on the rear. Underneath your passenger seat, you do have your toolkit, so it's got a jack and a brace, a tow eye in there, everything you need to change a wheel or get towed away. Underneath the carb floor, this section here is where the engine battery lives, so if you ever needed to change the engine battery for the Peugeot Boxer, you'd get it out here. And then your bonnet release is on the side of the dashboard, which releases the bonnet. Second catch in the middle, and then you've got your various liquids. So first of all, you've got your weight plate, so go off this weight plate, so 3.5 ton, you tow 2 ton behind you. You've got your SGE number, which is your unique Elddis build number. If you lift this cover up, you might need to put the key just down that slot there to lift it up. This is your positive for a jump start, so your red lead would go on there and your black earth would go on here. You've got your paint code for the Azure blue, and then you do have your dipstick and your filler for your oil, brake fluid, coolant, power steering fluid. This lifts off to top them up, and then you do have in the corner your screw wash. And to operate your wheel control panel, so at the top you've got your water, so this is how to heat the water, and the bottom you've got the vehicle. So if they're both shown off here now, and then to increase the temperature you've got a plus and a minus, and this is your temperature gauge, 30 at the top, and you do have, so if you start off, you've got 1 wiggly line, which is 1 kilowatt of electricity power on mains hookup, 2 wiggly lines, which is 2 kilowatts. You've got gas flame on its own, so should you be wild camping, you'd have to heat it off gas, or you do have gas and then your mixture. So you've got gas in 1 wiggly line and gas in 2. So this is gas in 2, so should you be in desperate need for hot water or heating, you can put both sources on together and double your heating time. And then below, this is heating the vehicle, so off 1 kilowatt, which is 1 wiggly line of mains power, 2 wiggly lines, which is 2 kilowatts of mains power, 3 wiggly lines, which is 3 kilowatts of mains power. Gas on its own should you be wild camping and not hooked up, or you've got gas and 2 wiggly lines, which is mixture 2, which is gas and 2 kilowatts of power. So if you did want to heat the vehicle up quicker, should it be cold, you can put it onto both, give it 20 minutes or so, and then turn it on to electric should you be hooked up. Obviously, if you are hooked up, don't waste your gas unless it's necessary for you to do so, i.e. it's too cold, and then you can adjust the temperature. And then when you do turn it off, it's very important that you turn this system off properly and don't just hit the master button, because if you hit the master button, it jolts the boiler and basically it stops it in its cycle. So what you need to do is you need to turn it off. You can hear the fans whirring in the background. Once the fans cut out and become completely silent, you can then turn the master switch off or start the engine. Otherwise, you may have to reset the control panel and you'll get a red exclamation mark down the side here. So whatever's failed, you'd press, say if it was the hot water that failed, you'd press the hot water and the plus button together, press and hold, and it'll remove the exclamation mark. You also do have reset buttons on this vehicle as it's a 2017. You don't no longer have them on the new models, but on this one you do, and they're located underneath your 2 back bench seats. So when I show you how to drain down the boiler, that's your water heater one, and when I show you on this side of the vehicle, that is your heating one. In your kitchen area, so you've got your hob, which is 3 gas, 1 electric hot plate, only when hooked up. You'd use the ignition on the front of the cooker. There you go, there's 2 lit, and there's your third one lit. So there's 3 gas rings and 1 electric, which indicates by the red light here. So do just make sure you haven't knocked that before you hook up, as you can shatter the glass with the heat. So please make sure that you've allowed it to cool down before you put the glass lid down. Underneath you do have your grill. Like so. Hold it in for a couple of seconds, allow the thermocouple to get warm before you release. As you can see, it'll go out if not. So the thermocouple needs to get warm before you release it, so give it about 5 seconds, and then it's lit like so. And below you've got your oven, which is lit as well. Underneath the oven is where you'll find your gas isolation taps, which are in the corner here. So should you need to isolate anything, you can turn these off, but these are mainly for when the vehicle is habitation serviced. Any problems with gas, turn off at the bottle. And then operate your microwave in your kitchen area. When you're hooked up, this is just a household microwave, so it is only mains electric. You just hit the eco button here, which will then turn the microwave on, and you'll be able to use it. It's an 800 watt microwave. You do have your fridge here, so this is a Dometic fridge, and at the present it's off. You turn it down to the plug, which is mains 240 electric. The battery, which is just a keep cool setting, so basically you chill your fridge before, put your shopping in the night before, allow it to chill overnight, and then on either hook up a gas and then put on the battery. Once the engine's started, it sends a feed from the alternator to keep the fridge cool, basically like a cool box. Or you can turn down to gas, and it would turn down to gas. You would then, this is your temperature, push your temperature in, push the igniter in, and then watch the orange band go into the green here. Once it goes into green, turn its way there now. And then press and hold until the band goes into the green, like it has there. So that's now lit on gas. And then once you have finished using the fridge for the season, if you just clean it out, get the remainder of the shopping out, give it a wipe out, and then the last thing you want to do is shut the doors. It forms an airtight barrier. It's a little toggle here, so if you push the catch, slide the 2 tabs out, and then as you can see, it stops the door from closing on itself and allows ventilation in and out the fridge. To operate your toilet, make sure the pump's on, and you'll be able to flush the toilet like so. Flush the toilet first, and then you can open the blade, which is slide to the right. You can then use the toilet, flush the toilet again, and then you would close the blade to the left. The blade must be closed to get the cassette out, otherwise the box won't come out the exterior of the vehicle. So make sure it is closed. And then on here you'll get a little red light once the cassette is full, and indicates that it does need changing. Got your toiletry cabinet there, your towel rail, your shower curtain. And then when you are winterizing, if you take the shower head off the hose, allow the hose to lie in the shower tray. As you can see, it's got a loop in there. Any water that coils in there can freeze. Make sure all your mixer taps, so your kitchen, your shower, your hand basin taps are open in the middle position. Make sure all your taps on the outside are open. Drain it completely of water, and then open the boiler, which I'll show you in a second. And the plug on here is just a push one. Underneath your driver's side rear bench seat in the back lounge, you do have your water pump and your heating ducts. But you'll also notice, because these have got reset buttons, there is a small reset button just in between the 2 vents here. So it's close enough to this one just here. So should you ever get a warning triangle on the control panel for the heating system, which is the vehicle heating, there's a small red button here where you can reset the heating. If not, you would press the heating and the plus on the control panel to try and reset the control panel itself. And then to drain off the boiler in the winter, there's a plus, which means it is full. So once it's across the vehicle, it's holding water. You push it at the front of the vehicle, hear the water drain underneath. This is draining the water off, and you'd leave it open like this in the winter months to stop the water from freezing in the underslung boiler. So it's a 10 litres boiler underneath. Drain it off in the winter, as it's your responsibility to do so, and the warranty doesn't cover frostbite or frost damage for the water, so please make sure it is emptied. You've also got a reset button on this one, which is just at the top in the corner here, so just this one here for resetting the water heater. And to make the bed, what you do is lift up, slide out halfway, slide the other one up and halfway out until you get them just like so. So there's a little gap in the middle, and then you would use your back cushions, which you'd put in here, and this back cushion into there to fill the space. I would also recommend turning the base cushions upside down as well, as you get a flatter surface to sleep on. It's better for a fitted sheet and it's more comfortable on a night. To operate your drop down bed, make sure your key's turned on, make sure the lights and the main control panel's on, and then you'll be able to press. So just press and hold, don't keep tapping, and then the bed will just come down like so. Got a safety net on both sides if you're going to put young children in, so you can unclip that and tuck that underneath the mattress should you not want to use it, and then your ladder will just clip onto here. Then when putting away, you just press and hold and keep your finger on the button. It is a bit slower going up than it is coming down. That's just because of the weight of the bed itself. And then once it clicks, that's it in place. Should you ever need to override the bed, you can put your crank handle up through here onto this nut and wind the bed up should the power fail, which is here. This is your crank handle, so that would just slot straight up there, and then I'll just show you it's going onto here, so straight onto there and up and onto the nut. You do have a light switch and a 240 socket up here when hooked up for the people in the bed, so they can't operate the light above. And then in here, obviously your battery box and your hookups there. This is your trips and your 12 volt fuses, so you might want to go and carry some spare blade fuses with you, just in case one does blow, you can fix the problem. And these are your trips on mains electric. You've got storage in there which you can access from the outside, and you do have storage underneath the rear travelling seat. So you've got two travelling seats here, two there, obviously fuse box and battery boxes underneath there, so you don't have much storage this size, but you've got full amount of storage this side and in here. So you use the table to make the bed. So first of all, what you need to do is you need to release these two clips which hold the table onto the bar on the side of the wall. Take them out, then you can fold the leg. So you just lift it up and fold your leg down, take it off the bar, and then you would place it just in the grooves on both sides, so just in these runners here and on there. So I'll do that, and then I'll show you where you put your cushions. And then this is the bed made up. So tables on there, then the bigger infill goes on top. This is a small infill which folds up into three. You've got your backrest off here, so you do the same as making the back bed by lifting and sliding the lat system out. to create the frame for in the middle. And then you can turn these cushions upside down should you require, just so you get a flatter surface to sleep on. But that's making the double bed underneath your drop down. At the front of the vehicle above the cab, you do have a large skylight which you can wind open. Wind that open for ventilation and wind it closed. Obviously make sure you put the tabs back on, and obviously don't drive with it open. Got a fly screen and a blackout blind. So now in the cab, to the right of the driver you have your handbrake. Then you do have on the door your electric windows and electric mirror adjustments, which is the top and the blind spot. Then if you use your finger and your thumb, pinch and slide these down, that is your Remus car blinds on the side windows, and you've got the same on the windscreen. So pinch and pinch, you can slide these to one another like so, and they are magnetics. So if it's going to be a windy night, I would advise putting something around here like elastic band or hair bubble. And then you do have down this side, so you've got your headlight adjustments and rear fogs, wipers with your trip computer, so your range, your average consumption, instant consumption, travelling times and so on. Hands free, this will scan through your radio tracks and various other things. And then you do have your mute and volume, indicators and lights, cruise control off, speed limiter. So if you want to set your cruise control, put your cruise control on, get up to the speed set, and then just press plus up. Then should you have to put your foot on the brake and stop it, you can just press cancel and resume. 6-speed manual gearbox with lift into reverse. You do have a rear view camera that's on permanently and also helps when you are in reverse. ASR off's just another word for turning your traction control off. Hazards, padlock locks the 2 cab doors, and then you manually lock the habitation and the lockers outside. Heated mirrors, 12 volt, obviously a USB and auxiliary for the head unit. Temperature on the outside ring, fan speed on the in, must be on at least 1 or more for the aircon to work. Distribution and your circulation, either recirculating air from outside the vehicle in or within the vehicle. You do have a DAB radio, so radios FM, AM and DAB. So you scan for your favourite channels and just press 1 to 6 to save. Media is either Bluetooth audio, USB or auxiliary, and you can press phone, connect the phone, yes, add phone. You find my car and you make sure the pins match. Once the pins match, press pair, then ask you if you want to save and download your phone book. Press enter and it will download your contacts into the head unit. Got a glove box here and a glove box on the top, which is heated and cooled by the air conditioning, and your rear view camera. Thank you for watching this handover demonstration. Should you need any questions once you've watched the video, please contact Tyne Valley Motorhomes on 01207 272 777 or email sales@tynevalleymotorhomes.co.uk.